What's up, fellas? It's been a while since I made a video, like 3 weeks. I said this before, but I started a new job that is just, it's like 50, 60 hours a week. Just been really hammered by that. And I've been helping my dad paint, or helping my buddy's dad paint his back porch. So I've just been super booked recently. And just coming home, it's usually just work, gym, or work on the porch and the patio, then gym, and then just come home and crash, honestly. So I've been pretty booked as of recent. But I wanted to talk about a huge controversy and event in the MMA community. Um, and that is John Jones. I mean, this dude's name is always attached to controversy. If you're an MMA fan or a John Jones fan, you're sure as hell know what I'm talking about here. But this is just like, man, whenever I heard of it, I was just like, there's no fucking way. You never want to believe something like this. That somebody of this dude's stature is capable of something as evil as this. Now, I'm going to give the Cliff Notes version of this, but I will link some articles and some really good videos. Chael Sonnen did a really good video on this that gave me a lot of details and a lot of knowledge that I did not know before. And it was just a great video as far as the situation goes, just breaking down the situation, all the knowledge that we have, which is fairly limited. But I know that there's like police audio tape and whatnot. So, but here's the rundown. It is a Hall of Fame induction night for the UFC. And John Jones and a bunch of other MMA fighters or former MMA fighters like GSP are being inducted for the Hall of Fame, whether it's for their accolades or like for a certain fight. And in this case, John Jones, who is still an active fighter, he's still under contract and on the roster and in the rankings. He was being inducted for a fight. I think it was like, I don't know, like UFC 160 something with Alexander Gustafsson. A fight that was extremely good. A fight that I thought Alexander Gustafsson won, and a lot of people do as well. But it was a close, great fight that either man could have won. So that looks pretty damn good. Being inducted to the Hall of Fame as an active fighter, that's pretty rare, but it's fucking dope, right? And he's there, and he's moving up to heavyweight. So he looks really fucking good. He's talking about moving up to trying to get up to 275, which doesn't really make sense because, like, you fight at 205. You're not gonna, you walk around 225, 230. You didn't gain 35. You're not gonna gain 45 pounds of muscle. So what's the point of putting on fat? Honestly, like, this dude does not need to put on anything. He could just walk in and fight a heavyweight. But Stan Efferdine and his coach is no better, I guess. I don't think it makes much sense, honestly. Like, if you're gonna fight at a higher weight class, use like your advantages as the smaller, faster fighter, but whatever. Anyways, and that's pretty neat, right? It seems like a great night. And then the story comes out afterwards, and I'll try to do this in chronological order. He was at the hotel room. He told his wife that he's going to get $10,000. He's taking $10,000 cash to go to the strip club. And it's like, okay, why are you going to the fucking strip club? Not only whenever, it's not his wife, his fiance. When you have a fiance, a girlfriend, and your kids at the hotel room, and you're grabbing $10,000 in cash to go to the strip club, which is a lot of fucking cash, dude. Like, not only a lot of money, but a lot of fucking cash. So that is weird. And as far as the events, that's all that I am aware of, as far as like John Jones' side and him talking to his wife and whatnot. And then there's a part where his wife goes down to the security guard, and she says she's trying to get a new room key. And then, she's shooken up, obviously, and she has a busted lip and a busted nose. And the security guard is like, ma'am, are you okay? And she just can't keep it together. She tells him that, she's scared to go back to her room. And then his child, John Jones' daughter, asks the security guard if he can call the police. Which is just so, like, literally just wants to make you fucking cry. That it just scared the kids and his fiance so bad. And this is the thing. We've all heard stories about how a dude that we know of hit his girlfriend. And then in your head, you're like, this stems from... It's someone who weighs 160 pounds and is 5'5". And, you're like, probably stems from a place of insecurity. Because it's like, why would you want to put your hands on a woman, right? But this is quite literally the greatest fighter. It's not like some Joe Schmo put their hands on their wife. No one in the history of humanity can fuck with John Jones. He can be in the history, the billions upon billions of people who have lived throughout the years. No one can beat up John Jones. Nobody has, and nobody could ever. I'm not saying in the future, but throughout humanity, like beginning of time, there's not a soul who could put their hands on John Jones, as far as we know. And he puts his hands on his fiance. That makes me sick to my fucking stomach. Literally the best fighter in the history of not only the sport, but the history of humanity, puts his hands on his fucking wife. This is all alleged, obviously, but it sure as shit looks like it. So then they ended up calling the police, and if you hear the police recording, this dude is like, tells the dispatcher, this is John Jones, by the way. It's not just some MMA fighter fighting at a local promotion. It's John Jones. And obviously the security guard wasn't going up to the room, neither would I. And, I don't know what you do. So the police just come to the room. They don't even bother meeting them in the lobby or whatnot. It's this serious. And when they go up there, they ask her, did it get physical? And then she says that he pulled her hair, and but he didn't hit her at all. But then there's blood on the sheets, blood on the pillows, and then blood on her shirt and blood on her face. And it just seems like there was a history of it, which is fucking so sickening. Like, that makes me want to break something. It is making my blood boil. So fucking bad. That is so disgusting. So it just seems like that's how a victim would act if there's a history of it. And they ended up making the arrest on John Jones, and then this is where the other crime comes into the frame, is whenever they have him up against the hood of the car, he says something to the effect of, how dare you arrest me on the biggest night of my life? I was just inducted into the Hall of Fame, which is so narcissistic and self-serving, it's unreal. And then he says something to the effect of, if you took these cuffs off, I wonder if I could beat you all up at the same time. And then he headbutts the car hard as hell and chips the paint on it and leaves a dent. And then it's like, okay, how did he not knock himself out, right? So that is either a misdemeanor and a felony, and I don't really know what goes into those charges, or how that's a felony, but then the domestic violence is a misdemeanor. So, like, how is damaging a state vehicle, more important than damaging your girlfriend? What fuck, in front of your kids, allegedly, quote unquote, whatever. It's just what it seems like. And that story is already super fucked, super fucked. A really bad story. This has got to be. It's so humiliating. And this dude is such a rat. I haven't seen my dog since I got home, so she's excited to see me. So, no, quit whimpering. She was sleeping over there. So anyways, that's just a sickening story. But then, this is like the day after. I'll put it on the screen here if I can find it, because I know it's not on his IG anymore. He posts a picture of him lifting weights, which is probably an old photo. And he says goofball shit like, I have too much brain trauma to drink alcohol. Which is like, dude, like, don't blame it on, you're almost 35 years of age, or 32, 33 years of age. Don't fucking blame it on alcohol. With your incident back in the day, like 2014, 2015, that's when you should have done that. Don't say it the fucking day afterwards. This dude is a joke, man. And he says that he's going to turn this into the best thing that's ever happened to him. Okay, so you put your hands on your wife, and you're going to turn that into the best thing that's ever happened to you. This dude is a fucking dweeb. That is so sickening and so self-serving. It is unreal to say goofball shit like that. And then he makes a comparison with, like, the Bible and talks about how the devil's pulling him one way and the God... No, it's like, it's your fucking fault. Like, in my head, this makes me so fucking mad. Because, like, how does a human being think like that? How does another human being... I can't even process that train of thought. There's actually successful human beings that can fucking think like no other person exists. It's so unreal, it's not even funny. And then, a couple days after that, he posted a video of him kissing his fiance. It's like, why do you do that? Why the fuck do you do that? You know why you do it? Because of your image. Why else would you post it? To try to prove to your fans and to the people on social media that everything is okay. That's why you fucking do it. Which anyone with a fucking brain who realizes other people exist, people understand that that's a facade. They know that social media is not everything. If a report comes out the day before that you beat your wife, and then the next day you're kissing her in your car, that's a facade. Everyone knows it's the safe face. Everybody. But you're so self-serving and so not aware of other people's existence. You think people will take that at face value and be like, oh, I'll just post this and everyone thinks it's okay. And it's like, that's the type of human being this dude fucking is. And it's absolutely disgusting that someone cannot just think about other people existing. And it pisses me off because, like I said, this is literally the greatest fighter in the history of humanity. And he puts his hands on his fucking wife. How unreal is that? That is what bothers me so bad. It's like, dude, like, how? Like, how? And how is she still with you, buddy? You got a good chick from the looks of it. You have 3 daughters with her, and she's fucking holding it down for you, and you do absolutely vile shit like that. That is so disgusting, dude. And I just waited like a week to make this video because I was like, I want to see if any other things come out because it looks so bad. I want to have good information because I don't want to post about this like 3 or 4 times because honestly it makes my blood boil just thinking about some garbage human being like that. Anyways, see y'all later.